Well, we're pretty far along into this process. I might have just identified a pretty big problem. Well, I think I've been sliding my welder around on the ground for long enough. It's time to make a little cart. Found this little, well, I keep saying little. Found this Craftsman toolbox on the Ace Hardware website. It's like 180 bucks. Pretty good deal for a box this size, I think. Proudly made in the USA with global materials. All right, so I guess that's fair. They just got all the parts from China and then put it together here. And they get to put a big USA sticker on it. What I could do is be lazy and just bolt the 4 wheels to the bottom of this thing, slap my welder on top of it, and call it a day. But I'm not going to do that because that would be too easy. Instead, I went and picked up some 1x2 rectangle tubing, and the plan is to just build a little frame for the box to bolt to, put the wheels on the bottom of that, and that will give me a larger footprint that I need. That way I can have my bottles on the side of it, and then that'll give me a little bit more height. And I like the toolbox idea because most welding carts look like this. They're too short and there's no storage to them. They're way overpriced for what you get. So I like this idea because now I've got drawers that I can keep all of my welding stuff in to try and keep it off of my table. You know, I can keep my grinder in there. I can keep my tungsten grinder in there, my metal drill bits, my consumables for my TIG torch, everything I need, my cutoff wheels, everything that I'm using when I'm fabricating, I can have in this box right here. So that's the game plan. I kind of briefly looked this thing over. It looks like we got a little dent right here, but it doesn't prevent the drawer from opening and closing. Not the end of the world. This thing's pretty lightweight. Like, it's really thin sheet metal. I bought this ATD Chinese-made box off of the gear wrench truck years ago. It's stout. Like, it's thick metal. If I had to guess, I would say it's probably 16 gauge, which is pretty good for a toolbox. This is probably 22, 24. It's thin. It even came with some little keys so I can lock it up if I feel the need. And I got a little thank you sticker. I have inspected this product with care and hope that you will have many years of use from it. Please affix this tag to any comments you may have. Thanks. Kano.
Kano wins.
I don't think I'm going to have any problems with this toolbox. Pulled some measurements here, and we're looking at 18 inches by 26 3/4 to the outside. I do want to raise this thing up a little bit just because it is so short. So these wheels add, we'll call it 6 inches. It's just under 6 inches, which is way more than average. My welder is 15 inches, so 15 and 6 is 21. So the top of my welder would be right there. And I want this thing like up here. So we're going to add another 10 inches. So that means I need to make basically a 10-inch box out of my rectangular tubing here. I'm gonna have to use my angle grinder because I don't have a saw yet. Got my mark there, 26 1/4. Ears open, eyeballs click, here we go. Test fit our piece here. Perfect. Just gotta do one more of those, and then we'll figure out what our dimension is gonna be inside here. And that'll be our bottom frame. Weld that together, and then we'll build off of that. 2 pieces down, and we're looking like 13 3/4. 13 3/4. 2 pieces. What in the world did I do? Well, I know what I didn't do, and that is read my tape measure correctly. Yeah. 14 3/4, 13 3/4. I mean, what's the difference really? That's a little bit better. Got that, we're gonna ignore that. Don't look at that. Everything's looking a-okay. And then we're just gonna build, you know, like 10 inches off of that, basically some legs to give this thing some height. And the very bottom base will be basically 8 inches longer out to the side. That way I can have my bottles out to the side. I gotta get this thing switched back over from TIG to MIG because I just want to get this done quick. That's my excuse anyways. But you know what? Maybe we'll give it a shot with the TIG. Psych! My Makita grinder is dying. I was in such a hurry to play that awesome prank on you guys that I didn't see that this front piece of steel wasn't sitting totally flat, so I had to break it off and do it again.
Awesome prank, Farva.
It's dying. Just ran the grinder over those just to flatten it out a little bit. There it is. Step 1 done. So now I'm just going to come up off these corners. That's 1 inch. And we're going to have another frame around the bottom. So I'm going to make some 8-inch legs. And hopefully I can make them all the same. Probably not. Just more cutting, grinding, and welding going on out here. Are you guys starting to see it? Are you starting to see the vision? No? Just me? So obviously it's upside down. But this little shelf right here is going to be the bottom. It's where the bottles are going to sit. And then I went back to Pacific and got some more steel. This was just some 1.5 by 1.5 square. It was just out in their rem. It was like $8. So I'm just going to use that for the 2 upright pieces that I can tie the bottles off to. And then this will just get 4 wheels, just like a regular toolbox. And now that I got this other piece on here, you can really see how this is no longer 90 degrees. And that's because I messed up. I went ahead and full welded on the inside of there, but I didn't put any tacks on the outside. So as it heated and cooled, it actually pulled that leg in. And it happened on both sides, and it's about 3/16 of an inch narrower than what it should be. Not the end of the world. I can just kind of manhandle it and get, you know, probably 1/8 of an inch out of each side, and it'll be good. I don't even need to get 1/8 of an inch. I need to do math. I was going through my scrap over here. I've got these perfect 1/4 inch plates that I can actually cut in half, and they're plenty big enough. And these will get welded in the corners, right? So about like that. And that'll give me a really nice, strong platform to bolt a wheel to. I am temporarily going to use the plastic wheels that came with the box just so this thing's movable right from the get-go, but these wheels suck. They're chintzy. They're just the worst. But that's all I got. Yeah. So this is looking pretty good. Now I just got to full weld it. I just ground the powder coat off of these wheels, and the casters, I don't know if that is like a nickel plating or a, what's it called? Galvanized. It doesn't look galvanized, so we don't, I don't need to clean that up too much, you know. I'm just gonna stick that on there, throw some tack welds around there. I'm not gonna go too crazy. I'm gonna try not to go too crazy getting these things on here because I want them to be able to break off easily when I get proper wheels. Ah! Those are on there. Just gonna clean this up a little bit. I'm going to use my square on these wheels because those ones don't matter because they swivel. So but these ones don't. So I need to get them somewhat straight. Probably want to go this way. Oh. Steaks.
I think I'm getting the black lung, Bob.
I'm gonna call that good. So 46.5 to the top of the regulator is right here. 42 is about there, and I think that's where I'm gonna cut these off at. These are 70, so I'll only be able to get one upright per stick. I should probably cut out the piece that's going to be the shelf before I weld these things in place. Just measured that down there, and I need 8 1/4 by 18. I've got a remnant piece of 16 gauge. I don't think I need anything more than just a few tacks. It's a little flimsy. I might end up putting something under there, but play it by ear, see how it goes. The whole time I've been thinking about having this shelf on here to hold the bottles. I've been measuring the bottles, double checking, triple checking, making sure that shelf has enough room. But something I did not think about was the 1 inch for our rectangle tubing. So that's tied up against the bottle, you know, tied in between the bottle and the box. And now the bottle's not hanging off, but I wanted that shelf to be a little bit more than that, but I guess it's fine. It'll work. All right, well, apparently at some point I forgot to press record. So that's awesome. I don't know if I showed these pieces, so we'll just show them again. Got my uprights just tacked in place down at the bottom. I am not going to put the 1 inch across the middle. Don't know if I said that already. Right now, I'm just working on the 45 cross member right here. 18 inches, kind of 45 each corner. Yeah. I don't know what I recorded and what I didn't. I actually ended up getting this side to fit up way tighter. I got a bit of a gap over here, but that's okay. We're pretty flush down the front. Pretty flush down the back. All right, let's see if I can get this toolbox off of here so I can weld in those gussets. It's not even bolted on here. There we go. I've been wanting to make one of these things for a long time. I saw a video of a guy doing this. I think it was like a Harbor Freight toolbox. which honestly is way higher quality than this Craftsman. I just kept putting it off, putting it on the back burner, and then my buddy Christian, Eagle Motor Works on YouTube, look him up. He made one out of one of those single drawer service carts, and I was like, all right, I gotta do it. Whoops. Got one can of paint and primer. Key to a good paint job is to make sure you're painting in an enclosed space and not open up any of the doors. You don't want any bugs or anything getting into your paint job. It's real foggy in here. I use that whole can. I'm a little buzzed, but that's all right. I left this nice little rusty section on the inside of both uprights bare. That way when I make my panel, I can bend it and just weld it in there and then just have to paint that part. I did want to get the bottom painted. That way I can set the toolbox on here. Paint came out about as good as a welder can paint. And I'm not even that good of a welder. So there you go. We do have some runs here and there. But, you know, who doesn't get the runs every once in a while, you know? We'll let this thing cure overnight and then come back out, set the toolbox on there, and I'm going to strap the bottles to there just with a ratchet strap for right now. I'm going to get out of this garage because I kind of got a headache. I don't know why. Let's go see if this paint's still wet. Nope. We're good. There it is, boys. It worked out pretty good, actually. We got tons of room. I was a little bit concerned about that down there with maybe having the bottles hang off, but they ended up fitting underneath this top bar here, and I like it better with the welder facing out like that instead of going sideways like I had it before. These things are kind of annoying, but it doesn't get in the way of anything. You can still get to your drawers. And now I've got everything laid out, super organized, and it makes me real happy. Top drawer is going to be all my consumables. You want to hang on to that little bit of MIG wire. When your spool runs out, just pull it out of the whip, roll it up, set it aside, and then when you start TIG welding, if you got to do something really thin, that MIG wire makes really, really nice filler. Got all of my clamps. I went ahead and put the body hammers and dollies in here. I'm not sure if they're going to live in here forever, but I was just thinking, you know, metalworking tools. I still have more stuff around the garage I need to find. I have a ton of these little things. Next drawer, we've just got the cutting stuff. Nice set of drill bits there, grinders, even the dead one. Let me know if you guys want to see a burial for that. Rest in peace, Makita. And then this last drawer here, I've just got my extra leads because this is a multi-process machine. It'll do everything. So I've got all my stick welding stuff over here, my TIG welding stuff over there. I've got both bottles set up. I've got the regulators on both of them. So there it is. There she be. All right, let me know what you guys think about this one down in the comments. I'm super happy with it. I have been putting this off for a long time. So I just said, to hell with it. I need one. Tired of sliding this thing over the concrete, having to strap this thing down to awkward places around the shop because I'm paranoid it's going to tip over and break my damn regulator. So yeah, I've got a little bit of space here to keep my hood and my little TIG torch holder. Plenty of space for tools, consumables, all kinds of good stuff. And we're still not done. I've got to add a couple little doodads and whatnots to finish this thing out. So let me know what you guys want to see. Do you love it? Do you hate it? But that's all for now. We'll see you guys next time. just keep finding more stuff that needs to go into the welding cart toolbox thing. Where do I put it? I put it in here. Nah, I shouldn't put it in there. Should put it up here. Tungsten grinder goes with the tungsten.